It happened on an ordinary weekday evening, the kind where you're tired, distracted, and just trying to get home. I stopped at a small corner store near my apartment. One of those old neighborhood shops that smelled like cardboard boxes and brewed coffee. The owner was an elderly man who worked the register every day, quiet, polite, always saying, "Take care," like he meant it. I grabbed a few things, handed him some cash, and walked out without thinking twice. It wasn't until I got home and emptied my pockets that I noticed the extra bills. I had overpaid, and he'd given me too much change. Not a huge amount, but enough to notice. I stood there holding the money, telling myself I'd return it tomorrow. He wouldn't miss it. It wasn't intentional. Life was busy. Tomorrow came, then the next day, and the guilt started settling in. Every time I passed that store, something twisted in my chest. I told myself I'd go back when I had time. A week passed. Then one evening, I finally walked over, cash in hand, rehearsing what I'd say. But when I reached the store, the lights were off. A sign was taped to the door. Closed. I checked again the next day. Still closed. A few days later, a new notice appeared. It said the owner had passed away suddenly, and the shop would not be reopening. I stood there longer than I should have, staring at that paper, realizing I'd waited too long to do the right thing. I felt ridiculous grieving someone I barely knew, but the guilt hit harder than I expected. Weeks passed, and one afternoon I got a call from a number I didn't recognize. It was the man's daughter. She had found my name and number written on a small envelope behind the counter while clearing out the shop. She asked if I had stopped by recently. I told her everything. The overpayment, the delay, the regret. She was quiet for a moment, then said her father had noticed the mistake that same day. Instead of being upset, he wrote a note and set the money aside, assuming I'd come back when I was ready. She told me the note said, "People don't always do the right thing right away. That doesn't mean they won't." She said he believed that. I never got to return the money to him, but that note followed me long after the shop was gone. It changed the way I treat small moments, small choices, small chances to be decent. Because sometimes redemption isn't about being perfect. It's about not ignoring the voice that tells you to go back and make things right before the door closes forever.